guys, Jay here. Welcome to another work vlog. So we're gonna be doing this real time, like a work vlog, and I'm thirsty. So I'm previously last month, you guys would have seen that I reviewed this and didn't like it. So the parts that I didn't like was basically the entire strap thingy. The belt, while inaccurate in size, is fine. I can't find anything else, so this is what we're gonna have to work with. So what I'm gonna do is take my VII straps, because they're much beefier and just a lot nicer altogether. I'm probably going to actually redo the back piece, which is just made out of crappily cut foam. That was before I had like a Dremel and all that stuff. So I'll cut that off and redo it later. For now, I have to rip this back up, which I don't want to do, but I don't have a choice. I had glued this down with some super glue, and I didn't want to have to rip it back up. Pop that open. So these were just sewn shut with a little tack of thread with a needle, and then I had these caps just glued on here. I can't get that off. I may have to pry that off with a pliers or something. Anyway, this can just now slide right off. And I don't need that now. So this is the straps that I'm going to use now. And I want to test them out first, but I want to get these off of here. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to get at the stitches here. I know you guys aren't going to be able to see detail too well here because the camera's so far away, but I was going to put another camera over here, that's why this is here, but I can't find the memory card for it, so there's nothing I can do about it. So all three of these are good to go. Looks like I'm gonna have to cut these, which sucks, but whatever. They aren't messaging me back about a refund or anything. So I'm gonna work with what I've got. So I guess, yeah, I'm gonna just cut them off. Also, I don't know how many of you noticed in the review video, but these two straps don't match up. They didn't even put them on correctly. Like, they looked at both of them and said, yeah, that's okay, that's correct. Like, not even close, guys. And so I'm gonna reuse some of this because I'm gonna make on this strap, they did this correctly. He has these loops here. I don't know what they're for, but he has loops there. And I'm gonna cut them off of the length of this. I'm just gonna like cut down the length of this, sew it up so it's, you know, like this, and then make those the loops, because it'll be nicer. So what I'm gonna do for now is I'm gonna check the sizing with the new, well, with the old straps that I had. So for now I'm gonna pin them in place because I don't want to add the snaps yet. So I just gotta be careful. I got a better idea. I'm gonna make that not poke towards me. All right, so there's one, and then I'll put the other one on, do the exact same thing, and then I'll do the same for the back. And then I'll put it on and see what it looks like. Let me get this correct. Then I'll put it on and see what happens now. Yeah, that's much better already. Oh, let me Velcro it correctly. It wasn't Velcroed right. So there we go. Oh, that is already so much better. I'm gonna go check that out in my mirror and come right back. All right, I went ahead and grabbed a photo of that. I'll send it to Atlas, get an opinion. Probably Hardy too. That looks so much better. That's already way better than I would have thought. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these pins back out now, and then I can put the snaps on. So just so you guys know some of the materials I have here that we're gonna be using in the rest of this video. So now that I figured that out, I can give the rundown on exactly what's happening. I just needed to make sure of that first. So I have these snaps here. These are button snaps. These are like what were used on my Sora costume to put the pockets on the pants. And then I got this pack of 3 buttons. Now this, it's hard to see. I'll probably take some close up for you, but the shoulder pad for VII has these 3 large black buttons on it. These are like an inch thick or something. and maybe a little bit more than that, maybe 1.25 inches, I don't know. But these are pretty right for this. It's not accurate exactly, but it's good enough. And so I added those to that after my friend made the harness for me. And I wanted to do the same kind of thing. They didn't have the same buttons, but they had these dome looking buttons, and these kind of match the domes that are on the armor. And they're just a little bigger, and these are actual buttons, but they're plastic, so I can cut the back piece off where you sew the button on, and then just super glue these down to the new one, to the new shoulder piece thingy. So in the game now, okay, so I got black ones of these and black ones of these. Now my armor is for the render, the promotional render that they're going to use in all the artwork and all that kind of stuff. That one has a completely different model, so I'm kind of mixing both of them up a little bit, because that model looks so dark, and it almost looks like he's wearing black in those. And he doesn't wear black, he wears blue. He wears dark navy blue. So, and you can actually see that in a couple screenshots that I've taken of the outside areas in the game from the trailers that they've shown so far. And he definitely is wearing blue. So, and he wears blue in every other iteration anyway, except for Advent Children, which is black and then a blue shirt. But in the game model, the things that are on the shoulder strap and the snaps that hold the belt together are all black. But in the promotional artwork, it's all silver. So I'm kind of mixing it up where the render artwork is better for the armor, but I like this black. It doesn't pop out so much. It pops out too much when it's silver, and I don't like it. So these ones were silver, and I think it popped a little too much. I liked the black on this piece, so I'm going to keep it that way. So here I have some interfacing. This is just some really thin interfacing, but it's the only gray they had. Well, it's the only dark they had that was interfacing. The rest was black, and it was really, really thin, like fabric almost. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this either, but they used like some type of moldable plastic inside here. It's like a really, really thin plastic fabric type thing inside, and since it's black, it makes it so it doesn't show too easily. So if anyone just happens to see it, it won't show up like bright like it would if it was white. So I was trying to go for black to go under this, because I'm not going to do like what my friend did on this and do 2 layers. That's a little much. So I'm just going to do 1 layer, just like that is, just like my belt is. And I'm going to do the 1 layer, cover it over, and then like, you know, fold over this way, and then just stitch along the top. That's all I'm going to do. And then I have this brown pleather that I found. I have 2 sizes, I believe. No? Oh, did she leave it 1 size? Works for me. Alright, I'm not going to complain there. Much better than I thought. So it was a remnant, and well, there was enough left in the remnant that she was totally cool with just giving me the rest for 50% off. I thought she cut it into 2 pieces, but luckily she didn't. That'll help me a lot. So now what I need to do, move those, and then I will get started on trying to get this off. That one came off easy. Also, there's a button here. This is the other side of one of the snaps. This snaps down to the shirt because I have a button on the shirt too. It makes it stay in place better. This is the right side, and there's nothing on that arm. There's nothing there, so it just likes to fall off. Alright, there we go. Got all of them off. So, I can use these later for something else. Put them in there. You guys probably can't even see where I'm putting things. So I have this hole punch here. I don't know if it's gonna work, but hey, I can try. Ugh, nope, it will not work. Let me see if it'll... No, I'm not gonna even bother. Alright, so that was a horrible idea. So what I'm gonna do is use the X-Acto knife, just cut a huge hole. Okay, then I'll grab my buttons. Thought I lost my button kit thingy. Glad I didn't. So I can actually use the stool now that I'm not using it for a camera, since I can't find the other, I can't find the card for the camera. So this is the front. We're going to push it through the pleather here, through that hole I made, hopefully. There we go. And then we're going to take a top half, which looks like a little bowl, And then we're going to put that on top. We're going to put this with the concave side under here like that. Almost forgot the hammer. And then you're not going to see this over here. It's going to be covered by the table. But the little peg, there's a little point in it. You put that right there in the center and hit it a few times. And you got a button. Sadly, I think I hit this too hard once and it kind of cracked it. So all my buttons come out with like a little dome in the top, or a little point in the top, but nothing I can do about it. Whatever. So we're gonna find out where that goes. Press that down, which will make a mark, and then I can poke another hole. Then I can do the same thing, just with the opposite side. Just dropped one, don't do that. I can probably find it. I can actually, yeah. I just don't know exactly where it went, but I can find it again. Looks like my hole didn't cut all the way through, and I can't find out where it's supposed to go again. So, right there. All right, and if you did everything correctly, you now have a snap. Boom. I'm just gonna repeat that 3 times. So this is what the top pieces look like right here. They're just flat tops, sort of. And then they have this little peg in them. And then that gets nested into this piece that they call a bowl. I don't know why. It just looks like a bowl, so it goes just like that. And the bottom pieces, the back sides, there's a flat one here with a peg in it. And this one that kind of looks like a reversed version of the bowl, or an inverted version. And those just get nested like that. So what the striking rod does is it pushes down and breaks apart this peg and kind of pushes it off to the side on all sides and crushes it down so it sticks them together. And then they just nest together like that. I finished this, so that was, that was easy. So all of the pieces now have a strap to, or a snap to them. All the straps have a snap. God, that's kind of difficult. So I'm going to be making this now. Or, well, the one that goes to this costume. So, it's definitely not this wide. So what I'm going to do is cut out some of this pleather here. There is no room for this on the table. I'm going to use this as kind of a guide to see how big I need the piece to be. And then, like roughly, then I can just cut that much out and put this away. So, wow, this, the backside of this pleather, I don't like it. It feels weird. Like, it feels sticky, but it's not sticky. It's really weird. It's got a weird texture to it. Anyway, so I am going to need a pen. I want to see something. Because I only had context with the crappy one, so I want to see context with a good strap system and it in the right place and see what this looks like on it. Because I might be able to just go straight over this and sew to this. And that'll give it even more strength. And if that's the case, then at least this thing will have more use than it would have. So there's that. Also, I'm glad that I got more pleather than I thought I would need. I mean, I knew I wouldn't need very much, but, but that means that if I need to in the future, I can remake this belt part, which I might end up doing. Atlas actually might do it because he's got a steadier hand than me, and that'll look a lot better. So let me see. Okay, I have an idea now. So this piece is about the right thickness up until where the strap ends. So let me just put this on and show you. This is the easier way to do this. Alright, so you see how thick the strap is? This going over the shoulder is roughly, if it was at the end of the strap right here to here, that's about the right thickness, or even, it's pretty, actually, no, that's about the thickness this way. So it would go something like this, where this thickness right here would be right for this side of the strap, and then I would need one about the thickness of the entire thing for the rest of it. Okay, I think I got it now. Alright, so I've got the armor with me, and I've measured this up to it. This is obviously way too small. That is not gonna fit right. So I enlarged it and put it on the new fabric, and I'm gonna see how well this works. So far, I have it cut a little bit, but I have it drawn out. This side, I don't have it drawn completely. I'm gonna match this up with this side so that I can cut it all out the same, so that it matches. It's gonna be roughly like this. This will stick better too, just like that. Then I'll come in from the side here and start cutting. So there's my new shoulder strap. It is a little big, but it's also gonna get folded over. So, I'll just fold it over now and pin it down, see what happens. I wish I had a different way to do this, but I don't. This way I can get a feel of what the sizing is gonna be like. Then I can pin this to my harness and then go look in the mirror, obviously, so I can see it better, and then put my armor on it, just hold it up against it or something, and that way I'll be able to see how well it looks. This is hard to do. It's really hard to put these pins through. This is some really thick stuff, so it's good to know now so that I don't have to worry about it later. Alright, so I just went to go see how this looked, and so now it's your guys' turn, I guess. This is the old one up against the new one. Kind of probably hard to see. This is the Decidio one. And now this is about the right size. So placement I'm gonna have to figure out like in a mirror and stuff like that, but with the armor on, this is basically what it'll look like with, you know, without me holding it though. But yeah, basically that. So it looks a lot better than what I had received. So I'm going to sew that up now. And I'm going to do that on my machine because I really don't want to sew that by hand. I just don't know if my machine can sew that. But I need to take this back off now and sew it up. Alright, so to sew this up, I'm going to use some interfacing. This isn't great interfacing, but it's not this ugly inside. So I want it to at least have a backing to it. The belt, like I showed earlier, has a black backing inside of it. I also got to take all this pinning back off because I can't keep it on there. You know what? I'm actually going to wait to sew this. I'll do it next week or something. I have a while to put this out. This is like a month ahead of time. So I have plenty of time to go and see if I can find something else. I'm going to try to find something that other people use when they're sewing. And that is these clamp things. They're kind of like, you know what binder clips are? They're those black clips that, there was actually one holding this pleather together in the store. But they're black and they're kind of springy. Stuff like that, they have those that are like ones that you can buy in fabric stores. And they're little tiny ones that you can put around your fabric. I might buy those because I can't pin this. This is just too hard. It's too difficult to do. So I'm not going to do that. I will have to make the thing that goes over here though. But I'm going to do a test piece first and see how well it works in my machine. Alright, getting the machine out, and I'm just going to use whatever thread and bobbin are in there because this is just a test. So if it doesn't work, then there's no reason to go through the hassle right now of changing everything. I have a piece right here, and I'm going to cut off a little bit of the interfacing, fold that in half. That way it's 2 layers and 2 layers of the brown. Alright, awesome. And it sewed through it just fine without any problems actually. So yeah, this should work. I should be able to sew through this just fine. Alright, works for me. So I'll be back in a week, I guess. Well, like a second for you guys, but a week for me. So I didn't have to wait for a while. We ended up going to Joann's and picking these up. I'll show you like a closer up thing of these, but they're just clips. They're kind of like binder clips, but these ones are specifically for sewing. They were in the quilting section, so these are what some of the bigger, more well-known cosplayers use. These are definitely great for the vinyl stuff, the vinyl and pleather. You don't really want to pin through it anyway, even though I did, but this will make it easier to pin it closed. So you just close it like that. And I think it will leave kind of a mark, but it's better than a pin. So what I want to do is make sure that the interfacing is up against the edge when I fold this over. And then I can put these in. So I got 20 of these. Oh yeah, 20 is definitely enough. I wasn't 100% sure if 20 was enough, but it looks like it will be. So that's amazing. Yeah, this is going way quicker than the pinning was. And I can even pin the weird areas down this way. So there's like this area here where it goes flat and then it curves down this way. And doing that with a pin was really hard because the angle that it has to be at was just too difficult for the pin to sit in there correctly. So this, I just pin it together and it just stays. Or well, clip it together, not pin it. Yeah, that works really well. Alright, let's do the rest of this. I'll do the rest of it off camera or whatever and come back when I'm ready to sew it, which will be in just a couple of minutes. That's about as good as that's getting, and it seems to be fine. And then this will sit like so, and I don't have to stab myself, so that helps. So that works out real well, actually. I have to figure out a way to do the loops. I have these little pieces of the straps, and I wanted to kind of put these down and use them because that's literally the same exact thing that's on my other piece, on my other shoulder piece. There's these little loops here. So this one has a loop right here and a loop here in the front. That keeps the front down. And that's kind of what I want to do here. I want to put one like this on the front or something. And then another one sort of near the back and one in the middle. That way the back can actually lay down. I also don't know if this is too wide or not, or too long, but I guess we can find out. This one is a little bit too long. Oh yeah, that is quite a bit over. So I might actually, you know what, I'm gonna check with this armor just so I can be 100% sure of what's happening. No, that's about right for the armor, so it'll work. I'm just gonna leave this how it is. So it will kind of go over the little thing in the back. He has a little thing on his back where the sword clips to. I'm just gonna not worry about it. So I need to change the thread out in this, and then I'm gonna sew all this together, and then I'll do the exact same kind of thing just for the layer that goes on top. It's just a strap. Alright, so I'm ready to sew the hem of this whole thing. I would like to put the other thing on first, but oh well, I guess not. Because that would be nice if it could go over, but I can always hand sew the end of that on. You guys will see at the end, it'll look fine. But I'm doing this in the middle here, because this is the part that will be draped over this part of my shoulder, and it'll be covered by the armor. So that's a really good place to put the beginning and end of the stitch. So I'm just going to do that and go through the whole thing. Also, you may notice I'm using black thread instead of brown. The rest of the belt seems to have black thread. Didn't even notice that. The straps that are from my old one have really dark brown because they were meant to match the dark brown that was on it when it was made. But yeah, I checked the belt itself, and the emblem looks like it's made with lighter brown thread, and then the rest of the thread looks dark, like it's black. So I don't know. So what I'm gonna do is probably trace over all of those with black marker so that the emblem shows more or something, or even go over it with like a black wash paint, which will color the thread and then kind of give it its own pop, kind of, you know. So I'll just do that some other time, but yeah, so hopefully that ends up working out. I think this will look fine now. Alright, so now, I know I say alright a lot. Why do I say that? Whatever. So I tested out I don't know what happened to it. I think I threw it out. But I tested out a piece like this, where it was kind of folded over and stitched across, where I put glue on both these. I'm using Loctite super glue, professional, liquid, whatever. This is just the kind I always use. It's the kind I do all my foam gluing with when I do super glue with foam, or other stuff that I use super glue for. That's what I use. But anyway, I put super glue on both parts where it was the leather that was stitched down and the back side. And then I put it down on a piece of the pleather and tested it out. Within 10 seconds, it was so stuck on there that I could not get it apart at all. Like, I couldn't tear it off. I tried as hard as I could, and it wouldn't even rip like the top coating off. It was that strong. It seeped that far in. So that's good. Oh, I didn't even think about this, but I really should have put the straps on the bottom before I put this on. Oops. You know what? I'll do that now. Since I have some working time. This is only glued up to there, so I have a little bit of room to do this. In the back, no one will see it. It's not a big deal. In the front, yeah, I forgot to do that. I have an idea that would have worked. I have an idea that will work, actually. I might have to get more of these, but I have an idea. So this only has, I think, 7. These are the snaps I used. I think there's only 7 in there. So I've already used 3 of them. And I could use on, when this is down, it'll be 1, 2, and 3. And I could make one of these go all the way through both sides and snap to the strap. That could be a thing, but I would need to buy more of these. So, the thing I would have to worry about, though, is I'd have to have another one. I'd have to have one that's in the center here that would also snap on so that it wouldn't slide off. So, I'm gonna... No, you know what? I can just add a small strap right there. I'll just cut that out of this. I can put a small strap right here and then do those. So that's a possibility. Alright. And I can sew that together by hand, hopefully, because it's not a whole lot. So I don't know where my last thing kind of left off. I thought I hit record, and either I didn't hit record or it just stopped on its own. I don't know what happened. Last thing you would have seen was me talking about sewing one of these on, and I changed it up a little bit so it's sewn like on 2 sides. So there's like a little bit in the middle there, and then it's super glued over the stitch so that it stays better. And I hope I put it in the right spot. If I didn't, I can cut it off and figure something out, but we're gonna hope. The back of this does not look that great. You guys would have already seen part of this glued down already. So I did super glue it all the way around, and it worked. So I just made sure that the front looked nicer, because the front is what you're gonna see the whole time. So I wanted it to look the best. So it's all super glued up, and it's all good to go. And actually, I need to super glue the back of this a little bit. I'll do that later. I just gotta remember. I have my shirt up here because I was talking about before this thing shut off on me and everything. I hope I put this in the right spot, like I said. Again, if I didn't, I can probably find a way to put another one on here or figure something out where I can connect it to the straps, because that's what this is for, is so that it stays on the strap and doesn't move around. And on the shirt, I have another loop thing. This one is like that, so that when I put it on, I can just put the thing on, and then I can take this and just do that and call it good. And then when I want to take it all off, I can just undo it again. Now, I hope it doesn't interfere with this. It probably will, so that sucks. I'm gonna have to cut that off and figure something else out. I'll see what happens, I guess. Anyway, I want to show you guys the differences between all 3 of these. So, this is the Decidio one. The one, here we go, this way. This is the Decidio one. This is the size of it. This is the one I just made, and I'm gonna get covered up here. But this is the one I just made. So it's obviously gonna be different than the Dissidia one. But I'm showing you size references and everything. There you go. This is the one that it came with. This puny little thing is what came with the belt. So yeah, you can see that is very, very wrong. It's super tiny and I don't like it. But it might be good for a child, I don't know. So I'm gonna put everything on and show you what it looks like so far. Alright, so this is basically, oh yeah, that works. This is the whole harness. So when I remake this to get bigger, that'll look a lot better. But yeah, with the armor on it, it's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, it's a lot better. It's way nicer than it was when I got it. I'll figure out the right placing for it and everything when I put the little things on it, the little snaps. Because like I said, one of those snaps is going to connect it to the strap on both sides. Hopefully. It might be too big for that, so I'll see what happens. Alright, so I have some awesome new details. Turns out, I was able to complain and get a new belt. So I don't even need the other one anymore. I already cut it up and everything, but I did ask them if they wanted it sent back or not, what was going on, and they said I didn't need to send anything back, so they would just make a new one and send it to me. So why not? I'm just gonna go with that and call it good. So I should probably put the armor on this, on the shoulder pad. I will do that pretty soon here. I did get new clips so that I can put them together. I've got two sets of parachute clips right here, and they're both the same size. These are the size of the straps that I have that I'm going to use, so I kind of have to get a certain size, so I'm just going to go with that. For right now, I kind of also want to work on something else, because I don't know if I'm going to have them or not the way that I was hoping, so I'm going to have to just make my own and see what happens. So before, this looked a lot worse. I still have a little bit of gluing to do, just to make sure some of it doesn't come off. And you can see this one is taped down. That's because I added a little bit more glue for stability. Let me get this off of here since this is dry now. It's been on here for like half an hour to an hour, so it's dry. And it is chipping the paint, but that's fine with me because I'm going to repaint it anyway. I took off all the little things I had on here, and what I had were these. You probably can't see them, whatever. I'll probably take closer up just so you guys can see them. This is you can see the difference here, how horribly off this one is. It's way too big. It's like ginormous, so I'm not using it. But these little things that are on here, these are wooden spools. Like a spool is what thread comes on. These are just wooden versions of them. I don't know what they're actually for. They were all over this because I didn't have bolts. Well, I now have bolts because I have this. I'll do pictures and everything of everything. This, it can break away. It's probably a bad idea if I do that. So I don't want to like do this and snap it because I might snap it wrong. These are for sprinklers. They are, it doesn't say what they are. It just says 1/2 inch by 12 inch, so 1/2 inch by 12 inch cut off, and you just cut them off. I'm pretty sure they're for sprinklers, and you put one end in the ground, and then you cut this off to however high you need it, and then you can screw your sprinkler onto it. Pretty sure that's what that is, but I'm not 100%. It was in the sprinkler section where all the different hose and sprinkler stuff was, so I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But I just got a ton of these. This is 16 pieces, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I can use. There's 9 on here, but I don't want to use the two ends because they look too different. All the other ones look uniform when you cut them off. And then I used some 10mm foam, which is just this kind of foam. This actually goes inside here, but I used that to cap them off because it is hollow. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's hollow. So I capped it off on both ends and then super glued it together. And it is just like exactly what I did with the armor, the bolts on the armor. Same thing, just on both ends. And then I super glued it to this, which I probably should have done better, but whatever. So this is my old one that I had since like 2014. And hurts to put on because it's tight and has no give to it, but it fits on like that. But it does that because it's too wide at that end. But other than that, I wouldn't be able to get it on. So this goes in like so, and it stops it from doing that. So that's how that works. So I do need to add more of those to this. This one will go on this arm, and I've been waiting for it to dry, and it should be dry, but I've Velcroed. Ooh, that should actually work. Okay, I wasn't sure if this was going to work or not. It's also not staying perfectly round. So now I have to see if it fits, and if not, I have to make another one. I'm gonna need to make another one. So what I did there was I just staggered two pieces so that like you put them together and then you just stagger them a little bit on either side, and then you can make it so that you can Velcro them together. I just need to make a bigger one. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger and whatever. So for now, we're going to be doing the armor. Anyway, for the armor, we're going to do basically the same thing I've got on the bottom of my Dissidia armor. These are just bigger and they fit on my Dissidia one. Now I have to just figure out where it's going to go and where I can put these clips. I'm thinking I can go off to the side like this. That should work. So how am I going to add these? I think I'll put them maybe under, and then they'll fold over because you won't be able to see that. So that should work. So this is the strapping that I have. This is just elastic. I don't have regular strapping. Elastic will work just fine. So we're gonna open these, and then we're gonna take them apart, and then we'll put this end, the end that it nestles into, down on here, and then I'm just gonna sew them together. So just like this, and then I'm gonna sew right across, and then I'm gonna do that for all 4 pieces and then get a little bit of length. I'll probably make them like really long just so that I can make sure I have more than enough and then cut it off later. Alright, so I just finished the inside of the armor, and I did the same thing I did on the Dissidia one, just like I said. I put 2 of the pronged part of the parachute clips of a pack of these. I put those on the inside here, and then there are 2 on the outside of the shoulder pad for the harness. And there's also this little piece here. On the Dissidia armor, I have a strap here that's like a nylon strap with a button on it, like a button snap, like the ones that I was using for the harness. And it just snaps to the back. It does the exact same thing this one does, except this one's Velcro and this one's a snap. So this goes over the thing, obviously, and then there's a hole cut in here, right here. There's a hole cut in where that's going to go through, and then it'll pull it tight. And I made sure having it all the way on tight to find out where it would go on the bottom. So there's a little piece right here, and it's a little piece of the other side of the Velcro. And then I have these the little clips that I was using to pin the harness together, basically. Oh, that's not good. I'll just use one. So I was using them in the holes that were from this because I had to take, if you notice, I had to take the loop off of there. It just happened to be where the Velcro had to go. So I ended up having to sacrifice that, take it out. I had to cut it out because I glued it in. After I'd sewn it in, I had glued the stitches shut. So there was no way to get it off other than cutting it. So I learned not to do that. But I also was trying to glue another one in, and it started ripping up the interfacing. So I'm not going to put this one in, this clip. I'll put this one in the front. I am going to do it where, right now I can't snap this to the front of the strap because I'm waiting for my new harness to come in and I have to readjust everything. So I want to put this on where it'll be when it's adjusted. So I have to wait for that. So this is going to hold that in place. It's going to hold right onto the strap because the strap goes right where this is. So that's good. Anyway, I'm going to put this together, and I'm just going to snap the 2 things together and then Velcro the piece in. So I'm going to put this on the harness and then come back in frame. Alright, this is, well, from what you guys, I don't know how well you guys can see, but this is the whole harness except for this. I think I do have it in a good place, and then this is going to be elongated by like 2 inches, so that would be good. That might actually work. I could probably just snap it together now, but I really don't want to. I also have two, there we go, these two loops I made here. They're not even connected, they're just by the same little clips, and then so they're not going to stay in place until I put them in place. I'm just going to super glue them because they have no function. But this is going to snap so that it's in line with the strap. It's not the same size, but it's going to be centered as good as possible when I put it together. But yeah, this is the harness. I can't even see it in the, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm like doing this trying to see it in the viewfinder. I can't see that far, so, and it's a tiny viewfinder, so whatever. And then also, finish this. So this is the, where's the thing that goes in it? Well, it turns out I don't need the thing that goes in it. I'll show you. When the gloves are on, it actually stops it for me, so that works. Yeah, it sort of still falls, but not really. It stays in place a lot better. And then this glove, I'm definitely going to need somebody to help me with this at con. And then this thing here, this is the other side. I just finished this today. It just finished gluing today. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to need somebody to help me with that. And then I can just move the connection point so that whenever there's a picture being taken, it's out of frame. And there we go. This will obviously be painted, and I'm going to repaint this. This is a lot looser on me than it should be. I guess that'll help when I put the bandage in, because he has a little bandage on his arm. But that should stay in place when I do that. But yeah, this is basically the whole costume. I have the other stuff over here, like literally just off frame right there. And then, it's not finished, but yeah. I've also got the sword. So, the sword is in a tutorial of its own that is way out of frame. Let me sit back down. Oh, you guys can't see this, but this thing is taller than me. So, one sec. Alright, so, yeah. This thing's taller than me. So, that's awesome. This is uncomfortable. That little clip that's inside it, that's holding the shoulder pad on, is very uncomfortable, and it's like pushing down on my shoulder, like right on the joint, and it hurts really bad. So I'm going to take all of this stuff back off. But that's going to be the end of this video. I'm also going to be putting this armor on here because I'm doing Classic Cloud as well. So, I don't know. Obviously, I got to finish the gloves too. But, yeah. So, that's going to be the end of the video. If you like it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys later.